We are excited about our newest book, Action Takers Who Get Shit Done. And we have one of our authors, Monika Krimendahl, here today. Excited to talk to her because her chapter is something that it's something that I had a hard time really grasping for many, many years. So Monika, first of all, welcome to Action Takers Who Get Shit Done. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
It's a great book. It's really one of those books where you can have actionable steps. The whole idea behind this book was that all the authors would provide some sort of actionable step people could take in order to move forward. And the title of your chapter is the to-do list versus the to-be list. And the reason I love this is because I spent many years not really knowing the difference between the two. And so now that I do know the difference, it's not that I live it every day all the time, but I'm getting better and better and better at it. So why don't you share with us, like, what does that title mean? And how can we become to-beers instead of to-doers?
I love that. To-beer. I want to be a to-beer. It's really stemmed from me, just like the story you were saying is I am a to-do girl. I got my to-do list and I'm checking it off. And if it's not on the list, I miss it. And so that's what I actually noticed was I have this great to-do list. Well, if there's something that I could be doing, but it's not on the list, then I'm missing it. So I don't want to miss it. So then I began to look at, okay, what I still have to have a list. Don't get me wrong. I'm still looking at, okay, what are the things to do? But it's who am I being while I'm in that? And who is it that I'm being who can leave room for opportunity? So I'm not stuck inside the box of the to-do list, but as I'm creating, as I'm, getting ideas and inventing things and having inspiration, can I be in my to-do list and edit that or can I be in my to-be list and edit that to-do list? So it just isn't all about that.
How do you know when you're being instead of doing?
That's a great question. And everybody would have to, I look at it like it's a sandbox. So it's just a game. Today, I'm really focusing on who am I being? So in this moment, who I'm being is interviewed. Okay, well, how do I know that I'm actually being? I can feel my feet on the floor. I can feel my hands. I can feel my breath. And I can move back into who I am and really focus on that person that I'm being. And then I can have that space to be a little bit more creative.
Do you think a person can be doing and be being at the same time?
I sure hope so. Definitely. Because we have shit that has to get done, right? I mean, the whole book is about get shit
Right.
done. And so we all have things that need to get done. And I love to be able to use the word shit. We have shit that has to
Every
get
opportunity.
And as we get that shit done, just like right now, the interview is getting done. Who are we being while we're getting the interview done? Who are we being while we're writing our chapter? Who are we being while we're checking our emails? Well, every day you can create something different. Every moment you could create the possibility of being love, being, inspiration for other people, being whatever it is that you want. So really to just be conscious of, okay, I'm in the to-do list. Who am I being while I'm in that list?
I love that because for me, this is part of my to-do list, right? It's not only for you, it's to be interviewed. And for me, it's to interview. And so that is part of my to-do list for this moment. And how am I showing up in that? Am I showing up, paying attention? Am I listening? Am I being an active interviewer? Am I really paying attention to you as the interviewee? Am I paying attention to what our mission is? Our mission is to get the book out there, to get the sales for the books out there, right? So I have all these different missions while I'm being me. And as long as, this is what I believe, is that as long as I show up as me, the true me, the 100% me, the authentic me, the vulnerable me, as long as I show up as that person, that the right things are going to happen. And what's your thought on that?
I agree. And I think we just need to love ourselves and we just need to be in acceptance. Some days we're sick. Some days something else is going on. Our mother is sick, or the dog just fell down the stairs, which just happened at my house right
Mm.
before this and freaked me out a little bit. So, we still get to be, and we just get to be in that place of just being in love with ourselves in the moment. We're doing the best that we can. I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm doing the best that I can. So here's who I show up as.
So what kind of work is it that you do that got you into like thinking this way, or what is it that you do that got you into thinking this way?
Well, I did a lot of healing work before I became a digital marketer. I was a massage therapist and a yoga teacher turned digital marketer, really looking at, okay, so if there's a person who has a frozen shoulder, what are the tools that I have that can support them to get to get out of that pain or to move through whatever it is they need to move through. Digital marketing, working online, working with our businesses. We're all humans. There's something standing in our way from getting to wherever it is we want to go. What are the tools that I have that can support someone in that? So, as I'm in that business of really looking at other people's businesses, supporting their marketing, supporting their online presence, and then also looking at, we have a software company called Click Riot. How can we streamline everything that we have so that we have more time and we have more money and we can spend more time on other things? So as I'm in that whole process of all of it, I'm constantly reminding myself there's a big to-do list. Who am I being while I'm in that to-do list? And then I have 3 kids and I have, we all have full lives. It's not like we just go to work
Right.
and that's it. For sure.
Yeah. Now I had frozen shoulder twice, both different shoulders. The first time I opted for surgery because I didn't know any different. And the second time I had massage, and they were able to help. I have full range of motion in both arms now. And so thank you for the work you do, because I wanted to mention that because if you do have frozen shoulder, go check out, there is a way to do it without having invasive surgery. It doesn't always work, but for me, it did work. And it took weeks and weeks. I know, probably a couple of months, of consistent sessions for it to work. So okay, that is the little commercial for, for massage. But so now for you, what I love about this is because you were in an area of a line of work that was in like this holistic type of field, and then you moved into digital marketing, and so you, of course, you always remember the holistic stuff that that knowledge, you always have that, and you carry that forward into the work you do today. So how does that what you used to do play a role in what you're doing now with the digital marketing?
That's a great question. Really looking at everything holistically. When I'm looking at someone's business and where they want to go and what their goals are, we're not just going to look at one tiny little piece because there's a whole ecosystem that's at play. So to really be able to decipher, okay, who is this human? How do they work? What do they need? Do they need a step by step by step by step process, or do they want the whole picture first? And so just really looking at the human, looking at the business and looking at how they need what they need, and then just working through it with them in a conversation. So it's there's no really cookie cutter way to do it. You come in and you get a sense of, I get a sense of what's happening and what they need and who the person is and how they work. Some people hate social media. I am never going to make a video, so don't ever tell me to do that. Okay, got it, no problem. And sometimes people just, once they get into practicing making a video, they begin to get good at it. So not all of us are great at everything. And it's good to go into spaces where we're not so good at something and we just keep hitting those walls where we find ourselves and grow and grow and grow. And that's how we can grow our business at the same time. So that's how I look at it.
I think that's a great point right there, is that so for me, I love doing videos. I've done over 5,000 live videos. I've interviewed thousands of people. So I love that, but I'm not really that great at it. I just show up and do what I want to do, and I don't worry about being good or bad. I just love doing it. So I do it because I love it. And so that probably shines through a little bit in my videos and stuff. But I think that a very important distinction there was that, like, if you don't love doing this and you don't want to do this, there's really no reason to force, you to do it, because the energy in it is a bad energy. Like if you don't want to do something, you're going to resist it. So you're not going to show up in all your glory. It's like finding out what it is that is best for you so that you can show up with all that, that energy that you have. So we're talking about the book right now. It's called Action Takers Who Get Shit Done. And such an awesome book. The intention of this book is that with every chapter that you read, that there are actionable steps for you to take, whether it's in life or your personal life, in life and business. And this is intended to help you to do that. So Monika's chapter can help you in both areas, in personal life as well as your business life. And so make sure you get a copy today. Go to actiontakerspublishing.com/GSD, and then you'll get your copy of the book over there. And we also have a lot of free gifts that the authors are giving us. And I just realized I need to have a typo there. Let me fix my typo. And a lot of free gifts that the authors are giving us as well. So Monika, when this book title came up, I know you said I love to say the word shit. So when this book title came up, what was it about it that made you decide to jump into it?
I have really struggled with being that person. Get shit done. Like I'm a get shit done girl. And then, like I said, there are things that I miss as I'm in that get shit done mode. And so it really spoke to me because I am that person who has had to really practice not just staying in my to-do list, but really expanding that to, okay, what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? If this is my to-do list, how can I make it bigger? How can I think differently? How can I scrutinize my thoughts a little differently? So it isn't just about getting something done and checking it off, because that's not what it's about at all. That's not what any of it's about. We still have to get it done. But so it was really that drew me, because I like to get shit done.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was attending an event recently, and the woman speaking, she said, to-do lists are a masculine energy. And I was like, uh-oh. This was my first thought was, uh-oh, because I am a to-do list maker, and I live off of my calendar and my to-do list so I can get stuff done, right? Get shit done. Yeah. And so it just got me thinking, I'm wondering if the to-do list is a masculine energy, is the to-be list a feminine energy? And then it's just learning to play, like you said, the sandbox, right? Playing the two together in the sandbox so that you're not dominating one over the other, or maybe just that you're recognizing that you need to tap into especially to the being who you are, tapping into that. So with that said, oh my gosh, our time is almost up. So my last question for you then is, what is something that you would like the reader to take away from after reading this book or reading your chapter?
I don't want to give too much away, but there are some cues in my chapter about what are you committed to and how do you really look at who you're being versus what you're doing. And I would just say, really look at, every morning I sit down and I'm like, okay, what is my possibility for today? Who am I being? Not what am I doing? Because I got a whole list of doing, but who is it that I'm being? And then I've actually been playing in the sandbox with that, taking it with my kids when I'm eating my food. Who am I being? What is this food doing for me? And just taking it outside of the work arena also. So I just encourage you to look at, how can you play with it playfully in a way where it doesn't become another to-do list thing you're going to check off. I got to watch my to-do list. Don't put it on the to-do list, but have it be part of your life and just part of a practice that you're really, really just gentle with yourself with.
Put my to-be on my to-do list. I love that. I love that. It just, go get your copy of the book, Action Takers Who Get Shit Done. Go to actiontakerspublishing.com/GSD. Monika, thank you so much for being part of this book and for sharing your knowledge, your brilliance inside of it, helping people to move into that space of being instead of doing so much. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you soon at the next interview.
One of the things that I've personally found from my experience of working with Action Takers Publishing is that I've walked away with more friends than I had before because of the relationship that you build with the authors while working in an anthology. I think it's an amazing project to be able to get published. It's a fantastic way to get published the first time, and I've almost seen people who get hooked on doing anthologies because once that bug is bitten, you feel like you can release more and more and more and more stories, and Linda's got a bunch of titles that I think resonates with a lot of us who live in the real world.